Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about how to farm seasonal points as fast as possible. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe, as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to talk about is why on earth do you even need a bunch of seasonal points, and that is simply because of the seasonal shop itself. When we talk to the seasonal lady, we go to exchange seasonal points. You can see there are a ton of items over here, including a bunch of very valuable minerals, as well as materials, arms refiners, TA customization discs. We could skip the Defi capsules because I know the majority of you guys don't even do dual quest, but nevertheless there's a bunch of LC capsules as well, which you can also pick up. But if you scroll even further, there are a bunch of Trial capsules, which are pretty nice. There's some Mastery 4 capsules, probably not so great, but there are the Gigastat 4s, which are definitely worth picking up, and Demio capsules if you still need those in order to enhance your gear. We've got some augmentation success rates, we've got a bunch of anniversary special scratch tickets, and there's a bunch of cosmetic goods over here, and more importantly, there's actually 200 star gems, as well as 1.7 million Meseta worth of alpha reactors. So there are a bunch of items that are definitely worth picking up, including the Golden Prim swords as well, because remember, these are limit broken, so that you can use these as enhancement fodder in order to get all of your gear to plus 90. Because remember, starting from next week, the cap will be raised from plus 80 to plus 90, which will give us our 7th augment slot. So with that being said, how on earth are we going to farm a bunch of seasonal points incredibly quickly? Because remember, we've only got 2 more days before maintenance, and once maintenance is over, we won't be able to farm for any more seasonal points. So the first way to farm seasonal points is of course by spamming the limited time quest. The limited time quest is the Nazan Big Quiz Part 3. Every time you complete it, you get 30,000 seasonal points. This is a decent amount. However, just understand that the Nazan quiz is a little bit boring, as you don't really fight a lot of things. There's like 2 mobs that you fight, and the rest is just answering questions. However, for those who just want to chill and take it easy, this is actually a really good way to farm up a bunch of seasonal points with very minimum effort, because you literally just have this running on your main monitor, and on your second monitor you just like watch a movie or watch Netflix or anime or whatever, and you're gonna get these seasonal points pretty easily, pretty passively. Just make sure that you don't actually AFK in this limited time quest, because remember, AFKing can get you reported, and even though it doesn't really affect people's score, but you know, just don't AFK, just don't bother taking that risk. It's not worth that risk for a little bit of seasonal points at the risk of getting reported. Like, why bother, right? So basically, if you are planning to watch a movie or watch some anime, the limited time quest is a very easy way to earn a bunch of seasonal points with very minimum effort. Now, if you want to farm out seasonal points a little bit more efficiently and a little bit more hands-on, of course we have combat zones. Now, a lot of people are going to be asking, Caro, is it worth farming in the Crimson Realm? Personally, if you are going for points and only points, Crimson Realm is not very efficient. The reason for this is because a lot of the mobs in the Crimson Realm are relatively tanky. You know, they're going to be level 85, they're going to require higher gear in order to kill them more efficiently. What you want to do in order to obtain seasonal points as quickly as possible is by killing as many enemies as possible. So farming in Crimson Realm is definitely not the play. However, if you want to kill multiple birds with one stone, let's say that you're farming for Trial capsules and you're also farming for a chance of getting a Wingguard weapon, then it's perfectly fine to farm in the Crimson Realm. Just understand that you won't be earning as many seasonal points as if you farmed in a different combat zone. A great example is of course Dext Base. Dext Base is a great place to farm simply because you're going to be earning a ton of Meseta, just raw Meseta by farming over here, and you're also going to be earning a bunch of seasonal points. However, in order to make the most out of farming in Dext Base, you are going to need to use the Waker strategy, where everyone's a Waker, everyone has a specific amount of damage, so that you can one-shot all the mobs very quickly, and that way you farm the most amount of Meseta and you kill the mobs incredibly quickly and efficiently in order to earn a bunch of seasonal points. However, if you don't want to do that, let's say, you know, you don't want to invest into any gear because we've got new gear coming out next week. Why should you invest into existing gear right now? There is always Retem Alnothe. Retem Alnothe has multiple ranks. What you want to do is you want to run the easiest one, or like the ones where you can one-shot the enemies. You can literally go to Retem Alnothe rank 1 where all the enemies are level 20, or even rank 2 or rank 3 depending on how strong you are. The main important thing over here is that you need to be able to one-shot the enemies as fast as possible. And so, you know, let's say you use a force class, you use Zonde. If you can one-shot all the mobs in rank 1, great, then just stick with rank 1. If you can one-shot them in rank 2 or one-shot them in rank 3, you know, go to the highest rank where you can still one-shot the enemies. And personally, I think Retem Alnothe rank 1 is going to be my recommendation for the average player. If you don't have a team or you don't have a group of friends that are ready to farm for Dext Base at ultra efficiency, you can simply come to Retem Alnothe rank 1. Everyone plays a force class, everyone just zondes everything down, and you literally just wipe the map. Now, when you're farming in Retem Alnothe rank 1, I do recommend people to try to fill up the gauge to 4 bars and then kill normal mobs until a trial comes up and proc the trial to get the PSE burst. However, when you're playing with randoms, you can't always do that. And so if you get really frustrated because randoms are ruining your PSE burst and stuff like that, I would recommend just running this in a passworded room and running it solo. That is also an option, and you know, it's still relatively efficient since you're one-shotting all of the mobs anyway. However, just understand that when you're in a room with more players, when there's a PSE burst, more enemies will spawn at a faster rate because you're killing them faster. So that is something to keep in mind. So even though, you know, people might be ruining your PSE burst gauge and all of that stuff, it's still beneficial to play in a public room with 8 players, because when you do proc those PSE bursts, since everyone's going to be one-shotting the mobs anyway, it's going to be more beneficial and you're going to earn more seasonal points in the long run. However, you know, it is a little bit boring and it is a little bit mind-numbing. However, this is what it takes in order to earn a bunch of seasonal points very quickly. Now, in order to accelerate the process even more is when you come to the event shop and you go to recycle items over here, you can actually purchase an NGS 3rd anniversary seasonal point plus 100%. Now, when you click on this for the first time, there's going to be 2 options. You do not want to do the top option. You want to do the second option over here, because this one requires SG scratch items versus the top one, which requires AC scratch items. You definitely do not want to exchange your AC items for this. That is a waste of money. So you want to click on the second option over here, and you can use your NSG recycle badges in order to get one of these boosters, which will give you 100% more seasonal point gain for 1 hour. So this is incredibly powerful. Maybe buy like 2 to 3 of these, pop them, and start farming a Retem Alnothe rank 1 or Dext Base, and you will earn a bunch of seasonal points. I'm pretty confident in about 2 to 3 hours, you should be able to earn between 1 to 2 million seasonal points very, very easily. Now, something to keep in mind is the seasonal point booster does not apply to the limited time quest. So remember, the limited time quest gives you 30,000 seasonal points. That 100% booster will not apply to this reward, okay? So don't think that you can be a little bit cheeky, pop 100% booster and get like, you know, 90,000 or a ton of seasonal points. That simply just doesn't work. So that is a little bit unfortunate. So if you are buying that booster, that means that you are going to be farming in Retem Alnothe rank 1, or you're going to be farming in Dext Base, and you're going to kill a ton of enemies. Remember, your #1 priority is kill as many enemies as physically possible in the shortest amount of time. That is how you're going to earn the most amount of seasonal points, okay?
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.